Hello and welcome back to Unity of One. Today is Sunday, June 12th, 2015. I'm Jay, and today we are going to be talking about aliens and the Earth. I know some might be thinking, what does this have to do with Unity of One? What do aliens have to do with the inhabitants of the Earth coming together as a unified species? Well, honestly, for me, it does have a lot to do with it. In my opinion, being completely closed-minded to the possibility of extraterrestrial life, that really displays a very specific type of person and a very specific way of thinking. I mean, when someone can sit and say, I truly believe we are all there is in the known universe, or even better, God put everything out there to test man's faith, I actually have to sit back and question my faith in mankind. I mean, in the end, I eventually come to terms with it. I respect their choice to walk their own path, and then I move on. And that's what this topic has to do with Unity of One. We have to first be able to respect each other's thoughts and ideas. We have to be mindful of each other's feelings and emotions. But we must keep an open mind. We have to understand that the people who taught us and some of the books we've learned from were not always correct. And I'm really being very kind here. I'm also the first to admit that I come from a long line of people who thought wrong. My family lived a life that was decided for them as many others do. When I think back to some of the stories my family believed in, or what they thought good food was, or what they even thought the values in life are, I get overwhelmed with sadness. You know, they accepted what they were taught and told, swallow it, and they lived a life someone else created. Never once waking up and questioning their own existence. So, Unity of One is not about telling someone how to live their life. Unity of One is about all of us coming together and being free to live our lives. For me, it's very simple. We remove all negative aspects our religions tell us to honor. We have to transcend and grow and evolve beyond them and those who wrote the words as we're supposed to. We remove hate and intimidation, jealousy and bitterness, ignorance and arrogance from our daily social interactions. We open our arms to the incredible cultural diversity of our brothers and sisters. We accept that our body is truly our temple, and we treat it with good health and natural nutrition. We open our hearts and minds to the possibilities that we can live a unified existence based on kindness and love, nurture and respect. We live, we learn, we share, we care, and we experience. You see, when you really start to break down religious text, you will start to see that almost all of the world's religions speak of beings coming down from the sky. They speak of beings walking amongst man that was different from man. Now, I am a firm believer that a lot of our religious text is valid, but it's missing the scientific aspects of logic and reason, just as science is missing the spiritual aspects. I do believe this was done purposely, as I've said before, long ago in order to control the population and basically just keep us dumbed down. So for me, when I read things like this in religious text that vary from the Old Testament to the Quran, I mean, from cave wall paintings to biblical paintings, well, then it seems quite clear that this world has either been inhabited by various intelligent species, or it has been guided, seeded, or possibly even manipulated by extraterrestrial life as well. I think it actually might even be simpler than that. Well, honestly, none of this is really simple, and believe me, sometimes it's really difficult for me to find the right words to express what I'm thinking or receiving. But before we continue, I have to say that I'm not going to be displaying references or videos or links or book information. There are so many documentaries on these subjects that you can spend your entire life researching them. If I mention something that you want to know more information on, then here is what I suggest you can do. Use Google. Choose multiple resources and let your logic be your guide. I'm 47 years old and I started my research way before the internet was even an idea, way before a beeper was even a concept. I would literally go to the Queens Public Library by my mom's house, well, by my house as a little kid, and read books about UFOs. So when I tell you this has been a lifelong pursuit of understanding, it's been a lifelong pursuit of understanding, and it's ongoing. So I'm going to break this down as simple as I can. I mentioned most religious texts speak of different beings walking and living with man. Before Noah, the inhabitants of earth had webbed hands and feet. The Quran speaks of the jinn. There is even biblical script of Noah's father, the book of Enoch, and in it, it clearly describes what we call today an alien abduction. I kid you not. So for me, when I think of all this, it's very puzzling. But when I look up out in space, I get a different story. We always hear that it would be too far for aliens to travel from one galaxy to another. So let's put that to rest right now because yes, the distances between galaxies are just insane. We are not traveling galaxy to galaxy, and I would even go as far as saying we never will. But let's focus on our galaxy, the beautiful Milky Way. I spoke a few weeks back about the vastness of our galaxy and the vastness of the universe, that we are one galaxy in 100 billion galaxies. And in our galaxy, we orbit a single star, our sun, and it is one out of 100 billion stars in our galaxy. Well, all these other stars, then they would be like you living on Earth just the way it is today, with all of its buildings, its streets, its cars, its stores, its merchandise on the shelves, everything, but there never being anyone else, ever, just you, and never ever another being. It's like living in a developed neighborhood and there never being anyone to create it, to live in, let alone create it. It just is an impossible concept. Life in our universe is endless, and it is growing constantly within all of the galaxies. Life in our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is tremendous. The common beings that we refer to as aliens are supposedly from areas like the Orion Nebula or the Pleiades, as well as a few other places. But even these are so huge. Our own Jupiter in our solar system is over 365 million miles from Earth. The Orion Nebula is 1,344 light years from Earth. If we were able to travel at half the speed of light, it would take us 2,688 years to reach it. So unless quantum entanglement is a real thing, this is just not happening. What we do know is the universe is around 14 billion years old. We know for a fact that the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. I truly believe we have migrated here from another planet within our solar system. I also believe that life on our planet has evolved to higher levels before, and due to natural disasters or planned disasters, most of that life has become unknown to us. So let's just play a little imagination game, you and I right now. We're just hanging out, let's have a little conversation. What if an intelligent race at one point discovered the speed of light or close to it? Or they discovered another way to travel great distances at high speeds? What if they even used something like suspended animation? What if they sent enough beings on this journey that over the thousands of years they were able to reproduce and keep going on their journey? What if they sent unmanned craft with biological seeds to our planet, and these beings are who evolved here long ago besides man? What if the same aliens who may have possibly created us by genetically manipulating the primates actually tried it before? What if they tried to genetically manipulate the dinosaurs? And that is why there have been reports of a reptilian species mixed in with man in ancient drawings and religious text. The possibilities are truly endless, and I'm trying to be logical in the sense of keeping it within our own galaxy and not use fantasy technology like wormholes and things like that. I'm not even getting into the aspects of interdimensional beings that can most likely select a location in our galaxy and probably digitally beam themselves into our existence, which, believe me, is another very strong possibility. Even we here, humans, now will be able to open doors to other universes and dimensions. Just go and look at what they're doing at CERN. So all you need to do is Google CERN and look at the research they're doing. The Earth, our home, is one tiny, beautiful, incredible, diverse world that has life forms on it that have been collected throughout the galaxy. We are truly the descendants of an ancient celestial species. You see, what we refer to as extraterrestrials are not extraterrestrials. They're us. They may look different because they evolved on a different world, the same way another person looks different from you because they evolved on a different continent. But when we break it all down to DNA, we will find that we all have something in common. We are all, no matter where we come from, no matter what we look like or sound like, we are all one, and we are all existing in the same universe. To deny the existence of extraterrestrial life is to deny the existence of God. After all, if God is an all-knowing, all-seeing being, then he is an intelligent being. And if we were made in his own image, then that means God was once a physical being. And if God was once a physical being, then that means he came from some world somewhere. So listen, everyone, I will be on to chat in a few minutes if anyone is interested. But even if you're not here today and you're watching this some of the time, you can always email me and questions and comments to migrationoflife@gmail.com. Everyone, I'm Jay. This is Unity of One, and thank you so much. I'll see you in just a bit. Bye-bye.